I see all the folks that are here. I see Carrie. I feel like, remember Romper Room? How much fun that was?
Oh, Miss Jean.
Back in the day. Who do we see out there? Oh, I see all these terrific people that I know. Okay, so out of respect for time, I'm going to ask everybody to just, and maybe Mark, you can be the arbiter of who should speak next. As everybody knows, I'm Ron Fraser, the current chair of the Venture Forum. Behind the scenes, we've been doing a tremendous amount of work getting teed up in the age of COVID for really 2021. There's been a lot of activity behind the scenes. And one of the dreams that I always had was to have an executive director that brought the skills and talent that we really need to take this organization to the next level. So in form of an introduction, we had a chance to interview, well, one of my customers is called Massive Staffing. Massive Staffing offered pro bono work to do an executive search for us. And we had over 25 resumes from all around the country, some highly qualified people. John Weaver and I interviewed probably 6 or 7 extensively, a few times. And then finally we met Mark, and within a very short period of time, we determined this individual would really be an asset to our organization. Mark has come on a part-time basis or half-time for now. We're looking for it to be built out into a more broader relationship and full-time beginning next year. So I want everybody to just give a great Venture Forum welcome to Mark Reed Edwards. Mark, welcome. All right.
Hi, everyone. It's good to be here.
Okay, so we're here with a bunch of friends, and just I know this can go long. This can be an important part of the meeting, though, for people to get familiar with one another. Ron Fraser from Worcester, banker by day, try to do some good things during the day for the business community, and the Venture Forum, I think, is going to, I'm calling it Venture Forum 2.0, if you will. So right now, I see Carrie Leppo. Why don't you just say hi, a quick overview.
Quick overview. Hi, Carrie Leppo. I see Ron on a pretty regular basis in the banking world. I am the president of Transcendent Aerospace, and I build 2 very light jets for the military for training and for close attack support. And that it's been a rough go this year, obviously, with COVID going on and having supply chains break. But in general, we're doing pretty well. We had a lot of interest in what we make, and from my background, I did about 25 years in the advertising at the big agency level, and migrated to investment banking, which I'd been doing for the past 15 years, and then started the aerospace company. So I've got an interesting background for the Venture Forum, and we've done a lot of startup funding and such. So it's a really fascinating group of people to be hanging out with. So thanks for inviting me.
Gary, thanks a lot. And I see Dan Crowley here. Say hi, Dan.
Hi, everybody. How are you? Very pleased to be here. 32 years to 35 years in investment banking and banking. Started off in investment banking back in 1979, migrated to commercial banking in 1988. Spent the last 20 years consulting into the banking industry on policy, procedures, techniques, and strategies, and bridging the gap between investor communications, borrower communications, and bank involvement with both parties for that period of time. Correspondent nationally for the largest FHA, Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae lender in the country, along with HUD and FHA. So Ron and I, we were introduced by a common friend in banking back in 2001, and we haven't looked back. We've collaborated on many different things. We've helped a lot of entrepreneurs move the ball forward in their ventures, both for real estate and business. And I know Ron is incredibly proud of this group, and it's an honor to be here.
I see Dan Ekberg. Say hi, Dan.
Morning. How's everybody doing today?
Great. A quick summary of who Dan is, and we're gonna move through this fast.
Dan Ekberg, Director of SCORE Worcester. We have for those who are not aware of the SCORE program, mentoring and services for startup businesses. And I'm pleased to be part of this group. Any questions, just send me a text over, an email, and I'd be happy to answer it.
Quick to George Tetler. Hi, George.
Hi, Ron. Hi, everybody. Great to be among such wonderful people. George Tetler, I'm a partner at a law firm that's been around for over 100 years called Bowditch and Dewey. We're a large, by Worcester standards, a large law firm. We have a full service array of services. I focus on M&A and deals, financing deals, both on the loan side and on the equity financing side. And I've been involved with the venture forum for probably longer than I care to say. It's been a while, and I very much enjoy it. I think I think there's great opportunity ahead of us as we hit 2.0.
This is great. I see Yale there. Hi, Yale. Are you in your new home?
I am. We moved in 2 months ago, yesterday. So,
All right.
So it's nice to see everybody. Welcome to the TVF, Mark. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Yeah, we're settled in. My business is doing well. We had a Pan-Asia launch yesterday for one of our skincare products. I'm waiting to get the numbers at the end of the week to see how that did. So for those of you who don't know, I've been a serial entrepreneur and involved with the Venture Forum. I can't even remember how many years now, but I've seen a lot of changes within the Venture Forum. Sorry that COVID hit and you can no longer have in-person meetings, but that too shall pass. So my company's done well. It's my third company, my first two in public. I'm down in Charleston, South Carolina now, focused on dermatology, professional and aesthetic. I do make frequent trips up to Boston. I am not afraid to travel. It's a virus. It's not, a howitzer pointed at my head. I'm totally undaunted, and hope to make a trip up there again, probably in April. I'll be damned if I'm coming up there when the snow is flying.
Well, that's why you're in South Carolina.
That's right. Okay. Dick
More afraid
O'Brien.
of the snow than the virus. Huh?
Yeah, Dick O'Brien, say hello.
Hey, thank you, Ron. I'm in the software world. Our little company, Geisel Software, is going to make Worcester the East Coast head of software and its growth. We're ready to hire engineers. We're all set to set our name. We actually just got last month chosen by NASA to be a partner, and we have a new contract with NASA. So we've got jobs, and we're excited about entrepreneurialism in this town. Thank you.
Well, that's exciting. Jerry, you're on mute. Would you like to come off mute?
Hi, I've been a member of the Venture Forum since '93, chaired the program committee for 3 years, on the executive board for a while. When I'm not doing TVF, I'm also on the board of the medical development group. Been in the medical device industry 51 years with lots of inventions for disease diagnostics and treatments. Currently president of Flowell Inc. We have a small market of 500 million women that need our product. If all of them bought it, we'd be selling $1 trillion a year. We have a good opportunity for investors to invest now in our convertible note and realize a computed but not guaranteed ROI of exceeding 20 to 1.
Nice.
Thank you, Jerry. Nolan, I see that you're on mute too.
Yeah, so Nolan Ryan, I currently do industrial real estate in the Worcester County area. Been involved with the Venture Forum mostly for an entrepreneurial project that I'm working on. I own an indoor hydroponic farm that I'm going to be looking to raise funding for. Soon the company's name is Hydro Farming. It's a concept that I've been working on for 5 years. So I'm really passionate about entrepreneurialism and specifically in the Worcester area. And I'm really excited to be part of the Venture Forum and to help out in any way, shape, or form that I can.
Good to see you, Ryan. Rachel, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you this morning?
Good to see you. Could you please just tell us a little bit about yourself, and then welcome to the Venture Forum as on the executive committee.
Well, thank you so much. My name is Rachel Kemp, and I've known about the Venture Forum for quite some time, and I'm very happy to become, I guess, the newest member of the forum. I currently work as an investment banker with Pickwick Capital Partners that are out of New York, and we specialize in M&A and growth capital transactions in the lower middle market. I spend a lot of time on the defense side and cybersecurity. And then occasionally I get the exotic transactions that no one else can figure out, and I get them done. So I'm very pleased to be here, and I'm looking forward to being as involved as I possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you. Abbas, I see that you're on mute.
Hi, my name is Abbas Abdallah. I am a business development manager at UMass Medical School. I'm a scientist by training, have a PhD in cell and molecular biology, but I decided to move to the dark side a couple of years back. And now I help faculty, spin off companies, license their technology, get sponsored research agreement. Anyway, we can help them in commercialization effort. And I'm happy to be part of the forum and help in any way possible.
That's great. Thank you, Abbas. Megan, I see you there. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Marszalek from the Mass Tech Collaborative, also a Worcester native. And Mass Tech is a quasi-public agency tasked with strengthening tech and innovation throughout Massachusetts. So we've been invested in Venture Forum for a little bit now, and I'm excited to see the new chapter of Venture Forum.
Thanks for joining us, Megan. And Megan with Mass Tech Collaborative has helped guide us quite a bit in the last, I'd say, 4 to 6 months as to how to go out and do some things in a bigger way. So we're excited. Hi, Elaine.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Elaine Vecchio. I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship at Worcester State University. I took on that role about a year ago and have been very active in trying to connect the university more with the greater Worcester entrepreneurial ecosystem. Prior to taking on my role at Worcester State, I was an early employee at 2 startups that went public, one in San Jose and the other in Marlborough. Then I left that one and started a family, and at that time started my own company that I grew over 12 years. And that was an endurance sports coaching company where I had the opportunity to take a hobby and really, build a company out of it. But now I'm full force at Worcester State, and so happy to be a part of Venture Forum.
Thank you very much. Paul, I see you over here.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ron. Welcome, Mark and Rachel. I'm Paul Hare. I've been sort of affiliated with the Venture Forum, first as an entrepreneur who won the 5-minute pitch with my first medical device company. It was a diagnostic, launched a therapy thereafter, and now more on the delivery side of healthcare, using data science to bring higher skilled and more urgent care to patients at home. Happy to be in part of this group.
Thank you. Hi, Chris Patel.
Hello there. I'm Chris Patel. My background's in tech. I've been in large companies like EMC, Raytheon, small startups. The focus has always been on tech, software engineer by training, most recently director of product management at Sophos. Spent a year trying to create an accelerator from scratch that was focused on the intersection of technology for the autism community. Now I'm working full-time with Babson, redesigning a program there where creating a company is the core of the educational experience. Grand experiment, but happy to help in any way.
Thank you very much. Jeff Brown, you're on mute.
Oh, hello, is everybody hearing me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. Jeff Brown from Community Software Group. We are a software company physically located in downtown Worcester. We're currently all remote, and we develop software for social service agencies and state governments that are working on poverty issues. We occasionally work on other social service related projects. We've been a member of the Enterprise Forum for like 3 years now, and I look forward to helping however I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. John Weaver, I see you're next.
Hey everybody, I'm John Weaver with MBI, the biotech incubator here in Worcester. MBI is home to 55 early stage companies in the life science space. I'm really excited to be supporting Ron and Mark here at the Venture Forum. I just say a quick piece. I've had a kind of fun opportunity to work with Ron and Mark through the last year, and I just think our buddy Ron here deserves a real round of applause. So my sincere congratulations, Ron, on all you've done over the last year. I think it's an exciting time for the Venture Forum right now, and I'm excited to see where Mark can take us.
Thank you. Hi, Allison.
Hey, Ron, and hi, everybody. I don't go as far back as Jerry, but 2005 is when I started with the Venture Forum, putting out what was then a monthly newsletter. So I've been involved since then in various capacities. And I think right now it's more advisory, but I'm fascinated to see this next chapter. And I think I said this in a meeting a couple months ago. I'm in this for the stories. I run a marketing communications firm called Choice Words, Chisholm and Company, and it's 24 years old. And we have really been figuring out stories right along, whether it was in the medical space, business, industry, education. So the Venture Forum sort of meets all of those different categories. And I'm just fascinated by the stories about the entrepreneurs and getting their companies going, thanks to the Venture Forum.
Thank you. Com, are you all set? You're on mute. Okay.
Yeah, good. Hi, everyone. Com, I'm the CEO of InThink Agency. We are a hybrid marketing and business consultancy agency. And our sole goal is to really help brands have awareness, but really bring revenue in at the end of the day, right? Everyone's trying to find ways to market themselves and bring revenue in, look at technology stack, operations, strategy, creative. And I've been chatting with Mark, and I've known Ron for a couple years now, and really, gravitated towards the whole purpose of what the Venture Forum is doing. As an entrepreneur myself, and Worcester deserves to be on the map. Like, we can really, I really feel we will be the premier organization in the state easily, because with all of our efforts, and then having hopefully my team come in to help elevate and bring their brand, and as you see on our docket here, refresh the brand. We're gonna crush it.
Thank you. Mark Prince, say hello.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Mark Prince. I'm the community manager over at WorkLab, for a startup incubator right in the printers building. And we host startups all the way from just the ideation phase with Startup Worcester, all the way up to businesses that are making money, making large amounts of revenue, and acquiring investment. So nice to see everyone, and congratulations again to Mark and to Ron, to everything that they have accomplished and will be accomplishing in the next little bit.
Thank you. Hi, Christina Lamb. How are you?
Hi, can you see me? I can't see me. How are you? I'm Christina Lamb, Director of Marketing at Fletcher Tilton, another large law firm in Worcester, and Boston, Providence, and so on. We were established in 1822, so we're celebrating our bicentennial next year. And I think that kind of longevity speaks to all the qualities you want in a law firm. I'm very excited about the Venture Forum. I have been from the beginning of my time at Fletcher Tilton, which is about 4.5 years ago. And so I'm really a newbie compared to all of you. Hello, everybody I know, and happy to join in on this next chapter.
Okay, terrific. I see one more person that is just a call in with the end number of 2312. I'm not sure who that is, but welcome. And now I just want to brag a little bit more about Mark Edwards. He's just a pretty terrific guy. Great bedside manner. He's got a great sense of humor. He sees things he sees around corners in many ways, and he's been able to acclimate himself very, very quickly to what's going on in central Massachusetts. And so I've been bouncing lots of ideas off of him, driving down the road at different times, saying, I got to think of this, I got to write this down. And he's bringing everything together in a manner that I really think is just going to pay dividends down the road. So with no further ado, Mark, why don't you take the rest of this meeting and tell us what's going on?
Thanks, Ron. It's great to meet everyone, and I look forward to at some point meeting you in person, talking on the phone. My phone number is on this slide, and feel free to give me a call anytime or drop me an email at mark@theventureforum.org. My voice is a little bit scratchy, so I apologize for that. I want to take the rest of this meeting to just talk about the priorities for the Venture Forum over the next quarter or so. Obviously, for me personally, I'm doing onboarding. We're adding talent to the executive committee and advisory board. We're really focused on fundraising. We are building a new vision for the Venture Forum, and I'll share some of that. And we're setting the meeting schedule for 2021. The 5-minute pitch contest will be in 2 parts in January and March. I'll go into the details of that. And we're launching a radio show on WICN. In addition to all that, we're refreshing the Venture Forum brand, and I'll go through that as well. I want to start off talking about the executive committee. And we have added some fabulous people to the Venture Forum's executive committee. You can see them here. Obviously, Ron is the leader, and he sets the tone for this organization. We also have John, Com, Rachel, Peter, Dick, Rick, Nolan, and John on the executive committee. We will add to the executive committee as needed over the coming months and years, but I'm thrilled to have everyone on board on the executive committee. In addition, we have added quite a lot of talent to the advisory board, and this will be a group that will also grow over the months and years to come. We've got a great group of people there, and I really appreciate, I've talked to a lot of you, obviously on the executive committee and the advisory board, and the advice and counsel that I've gotten from the advisory board and beyond has been incredible, and more to come on the advisory board in the months and years to come. Fundraising is obviously a core for an organization like the Venture Forum. We are in 2021 going to put a full court press on fundraising. In fact, we already are. We're pursuing lots of new sponsorship opportunities and also grants. We secured the MassTech Collaborative grant, and that's been a wonderful seed to kind of get us started as we head into 2021. We had an initial EDA grant that was not successful, but we learned a whole lot from that. And we have a new EDA grant application in process that we're doing in collaboration with John Weaver and MBI. And that will be submitted in early December, and we should know sometime after that. We're also looking at a lot of other opportunities in the grant area. I've got some colleagues down in the Washington, D.C. area, and we're exploring lots of opportunities there. So one of the things that I've spent a good part of my first month and a half doing is thinking about the vision. What is the Venture Forum all about? And I want to chat for a minute about this new vision for TVF, which is grown out of some great work that happened before I joined. We've tried to simplify and focus the vision on 3 areas: mentoring, resourcing, and growth. I want to just walk through those areas for you. So mentoring. First-time entrepreneurs not only need extra help, they need the right guidance from experienced mentors on how to scale their businesses. Running a successful startup, as many of you know, is not just about technology. It's about team. Things like business expertise, soft skill coaching, and leadership development are abundant in Central Massachusetts. On this call alone, we've got 24 people who have many of those skills. But there's no main resource to match mentors with entrepreneurs and businesses in need. And with a large and growing collection of mentors, TVF Fast Track will coordinate the area's existing human assets, people like you on the phone here, to build a world-class mentorship network and program that cuts through the barriers to support first-time entrepreneurs. We'll utilize the model we built for our 5-minute pitch contest, which has been running for more than a decade, as a system to keep mentoring going year-round. It won't just be a one-off. Let me just admit someone to the meeting. Hang on one sec. Hang on one sec. I'm sorry, someone's coming into the meeting. So our rigorous mentoring program will connect mentors with mentees, not just for informal advice. Mentors will follow a methodology for check-ins and goal setting that focuses on results and sustainable relationships. We'll also hold monthly mentoring events with mini pitches as part of the regular programming, forum-wide, to share tips and tricks. So as part of our meetings, for 2021, we'll have mini pitches where an entrepreneur can come and share and get feedback on their idea. So the second area is resourcing, and this is a big one. Often the biggest challenge a startup faces is finding the necessary resources they need to articulate and realize their vision. Although Central Massachusetts has numerous resources, there's 12 colleges and universities in Worcester alone, and numerous community networks, nonprofits, city and state entities, there is no central point to provide access to these vast storehouses of knowledge. And as an extension of our wonderful brand that we have built over 30 years, TVF Fast Track will be positioned to offer these kinds of resources, organizing and connecting entrepreneurs to a range of community partners. Also, we aim to be housed in a collaborative workspace alongside entrepreneurs. We want to have an office. We want to have a physical presence in the community. And we'll be out in the entrepreneurship community and use cutting edge technology to connect businesses to available resources. All right, the final area is another big area. When you think about it, a successful product is essentially just a good idea funded at the right time in the right place. And it's critical for a startup to offer a product that the market wants, obviously. 42% of startups fail because of a lack of market need. It may be a great idea in your head, but there's no market need. Another key reason for a startup to fail is lack of management or monetary resources. 29% of startups run out of money. Similarly, just as important for success is the development of a realistic and viable business plan. Central Massachusetts, the place I call home, has business experts and world-class capital markets to offer to entrepreneurs. Yet it lacks the competitiveness for funding, which requires not just great technologies, but well-rounded and prepared business teams. TVF Fast Track will create an ecosystem to provide entrepreneurs with assistance on building their business plan, pitch decks, and finding the funding they need. We'll also provide entrepreneurs with access to world-class experts on marketing and branding who can assist in positioning the concept at critical early stages of idea development all the way to being market ready. In addition, and here's where these three areas kind of become a continuum, TVF mentors who are experts in sales and business development can assist in creating a go-to-market model that works for the business. So those are the three areas we will focus on in the next year and beyond: mentoring, resourcing, and growth. So let's talk about 2021. We will release our event schedule for the full year by January. Initially, we're going to be virtual and be in person as soon as that's practical and safe. January and March, we already have our events set. It's part 1 and part 2 of the 5-minute pitch contest, and details to that will be coming out very soon. I encourage you, if you have an idea for an event, whether it's something you would like to present or whether you know someone or you've got a subject area you'd like to see covered, please let me know. Another exciting thing, working with one of the great cultural resources of Worcester, WICN.org, we have come up with a radio show that we are going to start in January. It'll be on WICN every Thursday at 6 p.m. We're calling it Tales of Entrepreneurship for the Heart of Massachusetts, and that's the working title. We may fine-tune that, but we're planning to talk with entrepreneurs, business leaders, and more who make Central Massachusetts what it is. And eventually we will produce it at the Station Street Front Studio 50, which is a fabulous space. And again, we will debut this in January. I'm really looking forward to this. I've got a developing list of guests that we will have on. And if you have an idea, just like the events, just get in touch with me. Finally, we are looking at refreshing the Venture Forum brand. We're looking at the total brand identity for the Venture Forum, including logo, colors, website design, collateral, and some of the underlying systems that we use to support those. More to come on that soon. I'm working with Com, who's on the executive committee, as well as Danielle Festa, who's done a lot of our graphics over the years on this project. And that is what we've got going on. I'm happy to take questions or open up a discussion if you have any.
Yes, I think Chris Patel, did you have a question?
It's brewing. I wanted to know if I could ask questions or not, but
yeah, please, please.
I do. Have you considered the concept of a sister city?
It's an interesting idea. It's occurred to me that there are cities in the country and certainly in the world that have common threads with Worcester, and I'd definitely be open to that. That would be an interesting thing to pursue.
I brought it up because I don't know how many of you remember Michael Graney or Graney, Graney. He was part of the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Springfield, Mass. And 6 years ago, he moved down to Charleston, South Carolina. And he and I met about a month ago, actually. And it turns out that up until COVID hit, there were 4 flights a day between Charleston International Airport and Logan Airport. The reason being that there's a lot of commonalities between both cities. So many of you probably don't know this, but I was frankly astounded at the ecosystem in Charleston for startup companies, mature companies across every sector you can think of. And some of those sectors align better with Worcester than Worcester does with Boston. There's fintech, there's aerotech, there's auto tech, there's life science. It's really quite remarkable here, including that there is a very, very active venture fund in Charleston, and they travel back and forth to Boston. And I don't think they're investing in Boston, even though one of their members is out of the engine at MIT. But I think there might be, and I've met them as well. So, because I'm getting into the ecosystem here. It's something maybe to think about. I just wanted to plant the seed that perhaps there's a synergy.
Certainly, Yale, in the short term, I'd love to chat with some people down there just to pick their brain about what's going on and the systems they have in place and so forth.
I'll introduce you to Michael Graney.
Yeah,
He's
that'd be
currently operating in the Greater Charleston Global Development Community as Vice President of Global Development. And there's a lot of global deals going on here, which is why he called me, because we operate globally.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
if you don't mind me interrupting a little bit, we have a few people who joined us that weren't on the call at the very beginning. Peter, say hello.
Oh, hey, thanks, Ron.
Just a quick summary of who you are and what you do.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, I'm excited. Mark, great job. I'm excited to get to know you. I've been getting to know Mark over the past couple of weeks and really love his passion, his focus, his drive. So glad to have him on board. Yeah, my name's Peter Martino. I'm an EOS implementer. EOS is the Entrepreneurial Operating System. So we work with entrepreneurs more in the established entrepreneurial world, less in the startup world, but we help them add value to their organizations, increase controls, reduce chaos, ultimately become more profitable, run a better business, and live a better life. So that's a little bit about me. I'm excited to be a part of what's going on at the Venture Forum. Thanks, Ron.
Great to have
Okay,
you,
and I
Pete.
also see John Brisboy, who just joined us a little bit ago. Say hi, John.
Hi, how are you? I'm technically inept.
So John doesn't brag on himself very much, so I will. He's been like my muse during this COVID period to make sure that we keep moving and moving and moving, and so I want to thank him for that. Is there anyone else that would like to thoughts, suggestions, questions? Because we're all here together, and I'd like to make this sort of a monthly event, but while COVID, I guess, you know, I'm meeting a lot with people in person, but this Zoom action, I guess, we're all getting pretty good at it these days. But does anyone else have anything to share?
Well, I hope it wasn't covered before I got on, but I was wondering if we had a chance to take a look at the business plan that we had and the strategic plan. Obviously, it needs updating, but I don't think it needs that much updating, and probably, if anything, narrowing in focus, and give us a good track to run on. So I guess that's my question.
Yeah, I think I can answer that. Mark's poured over all of the historical information that I had my hands on, so we are using some of the principles of that as a guidance. I think we will modify it somewhat, but yeah, that's going to continue to provide us the guiding principles. Carrie, did you have a question?
A quick question. Is going to be sort of a directory so that we can all know who each other are, because there were 5 or 6 people here that could be really helpful in my business, certainly, that I'd like to talk to, and we can cross-pollinate, you know, sort of our advisory board. So is there going to be an online directory for us?
So
bio?
We do have an online directory. If you have a login for the ventureforum.org, there is a directory there. But yeah, it's something we need to get more sophisticated with. We need better systems in place. And that's something in 2021 that I'm going to put together. But a simple Google Sheet or something would be great too.
Sure, just a place to go check everybody's email or something, just to send a note or whatever. Yep. Thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Mark, this is, oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Chris. You were waiting for a question for some time.
I was contemplating.
Hey, Chris, we have a common employer in our history. I worked at Sophos for a couple of years.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. Yeah. All right, good stuff. So, so I'm a big fan of sort of, I don't know what the right term is, but you know, a KPI sounds a bit cumbersome, but I think it's great that you know, building the mentoring program, funding, etc. But if you fast forward 2 years, say, and you look backwards, how will you know whether you've been successful or not? What are the metrics that you look at to say, yes, we moved the needle, companies created, jobs created,
yeah,
incremental investment that's been brought to the community?
Yeah.
It seems to me that a lot of getting that in place might be very valuable, so that all of the work could be put in the context of an outcome.
Yeah, so in a larger document than I could share today that we've been developing that is very close to being done, there are metrics in it that go into detail on what our impact will be in 2022 and beyond. Once we set the kind of foundation in place next year, we intend to build a kind of an infrastructure and have metrics in place that show not only what we've done, but what we plan to do. And we will measure ourselves against those. So it's a great point though, Chris.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, that like activity is helpful, but the outcomes related to that, right?
That's outcome based. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely.
Also, I just wondered, as you're thinking about the radio show, have you considered a podcast as well?
And so I call it a radio show, but it will be a podcast that we will be able to use ourselves. So we'll produce it under the auspices of WICN, but it will be our product to use as a podcast. I've done a lot of podcasting over my career, especially in the last 10 years or so. And it's a medium that we will get into in a big way.
Very cool.
Yep.
We have further aspirations if there's a lot more to unpack, right? Doing the marketing strategy.
Yep.
Mark and I have a lot of ideas. Is like, if we're doing the podcast, we can make it a YouTube channel as well. So you're amplifying the message and the reach by shooting it once. And that's how we do our podcast now. We'll do Zooms like this. You can cut this into, let's say we're interviewing an entrepreneur, you can make it a YouTube thing. And now we have video, and then that audio file could be podcast. So more technical stuff behind the scenes, but yeah, I mean, modernizing the brand and reaching people where they're at and how they want to consume content.
Smart stuff.
Yep.
You know, in a similar sort of vein, I think the idea, if we think about also what I think, you know, Chris, your idea of certainly putting some ways to measure what we do and to make sure we're heading in the right direction is obviously very important. But also, if you look at what currency we have, as we think about, you know, the venture forum and original roots and the 5-minute pitch, is these startup teams. And Mark, much of what you walk to is thinking about how we, you know, build pieces and create hooks, and then start adding things to those hooks around really that focal asset, if we can call it that. Is that we also tend to be very you know, sort of, we have touch points with those, but there's not as much of a continuum. Like a startup might cycle in or out for our 5-minute pitch, but then we sort of lose contact. And you know, we don't have a good mechanism for doing the things that you talked through today. So thinking about how we create more of a relationship, you know, I'm not necessarily saying we go to an incubator idea, but an idea of you know, bringing those organizations under our roof and maybe having fixed timeframes like incubators do, but some kind of idea of, like, you know, if we have connections with other cities or connections with other organizations or whatever it may be, you know, that means we need to have a more longitudinal relationship sometimes with the organizations that we come into touch with. And I think we're more spotty in how we do that today. So that's another idea of how we can probably take all your ideas and build them more into a holistic plan.
Yep.
Hitchhiking on Paul's idea, it would be great if the Venture Forum went back to a format where we began the year with what entrepreneurs need to know as they start their business, and then cycle through every month with more information on, say, finance or marketing or sales or manufacturing. And then we sort of culminate in the 5-minute pitch after having a session 2 months earlier on how to pitch. So basically have a training program for entrepreneurs that walks them through the steps all year long.
Great thinking, Jerry.
Mark, I'd like to offer something too. I feel like we need to understand that entrepreneurialism is not just startup companies. Entrepreneurialism is crucial to every operating business that I know about. And I certainly want to be sure that we include in our focus beyond just the startup, but operating companies that need the entrepreneurialism, the development, and the kinds of things we're going to be able to offer.
Agreed.
Mark, one of the things that I think is very important is that we make ourselves available to the minority community. That not that we go out of our way to provide any minority entrepreneur with anything other than what we're going to do, but that we love them just like we're going to love everybody else that we're working with, and we're making sure that that the community is aware of what's available and has access to the connections that we have. I think that's a really important thing. And so Ron and I have reached out to the community to identify those folks that can get the word out. And there's some very exciting minority entrepreneurs out there. And one of the things, however, that's been real weak is life sciences. And I'm involved with the Ron Burton Training Village. We started a STEM program, raised $500,000 a year for 7-year commitment. to introduce STEM, starting with young ladies. And we've had some great success with that. But my feeling is, with everything that's going on socially and so forth, the answer to the test is, building young people with character, black and white, and every other minority or ethnic group, and then having real strong minority entrepreneurs. Because if they're strong and they have good, successful businesses growing in the community, they're going to make their mark and they're going to influence policy and everything else. So that's a bit of a passion for me. And again, I'm not going to do anything that we wouldn't do for any entrepreneur, but we need to make sure that the message gets out, and then here it is, come get it,
Yep, completely agree.
Mark, I'd be very much interested in looking at ways that we can work to get the universities involved with this, to help break down our approach of working in silos with our entrepreneurship programs, rather than, you're almost like a neutral territory for us to be able to become a part of.
Yeah, I completely agree. Worcester State and all the other universities are an incredible resource, and getting them to come into this common ground at the Venture Forum is a goal of mine through these 3 initiatives. There are areas where you can play a role, and in other areas. I'd love to chat with you, one-on-one about how we can start that off.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark, can you provide any details on the 5-minute pitch contest? And in terms of logistics, so at MassTech, since the pandemic started, I've been running entrepreneur challenges, which is sparking innovation at existing companies to help them pivot to produce PPE and the needs of COVID, with great success. To do that, we had to stand up a virtual accelerator program. So if you guys needed some virtual infrastructure for your 5-minute pitch or mentoring, we might be able to provide that. But if you could provide any details.
Yeah, let's have a chat. We're planning. I think it's January 8th, I think is the date that or January 9th. Sorry, it slipped my mind, is when we will do the first part. And the idea here is that we're going to do it in 2 parts, where they'll have a chance in January to do kind of a dress rehearsal and connect with a mentor after that. But as far as the infrastructure, I'd love to talk to you about that, we are putting the plans together as we speak, and we'll announce it in early December, send out invitations, but definitely could use your help on some of the infrastructure that you've obviously figured out.
Mark, this is more of a logistical question. One of the benefits of the Venture Forum over the years has been the sidebar conversations, running into people, whoever shows up. And I don't know in the COVID world how you can try and replicate that, but is that a part of the plan for the future meetings, to create some, at least breakout rooms or some way to have smaller conversations instead of just sitting and listening?
Yeah, one thing that I want to start is a Slack channel for the Venture Forum, where everyone would be in it and they can have discussions about, any number of things. And one of the interesting things, I was in Chamber of Commerce meeting, and they had breakouts, and we can maybe use that going forward, that kind of technology going forward. And they were very effective. So I will explore that. Want to kind of crawl, walk, run with some of this, but one of the great ways to stay connected is through a Slack channel where conversations can happen asynchronously, and throughout the year, not just tied to an event. And also during an event, you can have your Slack channel open and have discussions that way. I'll explore that. Yep.
I have some experience with that through the medical development group. We were using Remo. We tried this beta product called Grapevine. And there are about 10 of those where it's live networking. Slack is like email, and I've been on Slack, but this is more like the Venture Forum used to be, where you can get together and more than just 4 people in a room, and you can have conversations. It's sort of like the Zoom call.
Yeah.
So it's much more effective than Slack.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
I'd like to ask a question or go back to university and college participation a little bit. It's really important to have sort of a point person at each of these schools. We have such great resources right here in Massachusetts with all the universities. And I brought a couple of medical products to some of the schools here with little or no luck getting people to participate. I ended up at Georgia Tech and Texas A&M with my studies, and these studies are going to not only turn into that, but they'll turn into revenue for these universities, because the way we structured the deal is you're doing our double-blind tests for us, but you're getting equity in the company for doing it. And the products are doing really well. So there's some opportunities missed here right in Massachusetts. So it would be great to have sort of a clearinghouse person at a university, you know, that participates in this, that you can call, you know, with whatever their specialties are. That'd be a great resource for all of us, probably.
Yeah, that's something, you know, Elaine and I can discuss maybe how to make us the front door for something like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that, because I'm sure that's not an isolated incident of that happening here in Worcester. So I would love for us to work at trying to solve that problem.
Yeah, and it is an issue, actually.
Yeah, through what, you know, these programs that we're talking about here, we want to kind of be a clearinghouse for, you know, all of this. So you can come to the ventureforum.org and you can find what you need, or at least find someone who is responsible for that kind of area. You contact them and they put you in touch with the right resources.
Correct.
We're coming up on an hour here. And I just want to say that I'm thrilled that the number of people that could join. Some other folks are joining on the phone, driving down the road. We're really excited about where we're heading. I think that with Mark doing what he's doing, we're going to have some consistent communication, some consistent meetings such as this one that we can get the word out to folks. I will tell you that you know, as we continue to shape the advisory board, I think that we're not at the maximum numbers of people that we can have on that, as well as we may be expanding the executive committee as needed. You know, we as a volunteer organization have relied heavily on our sponsors, historical sponsors. My job now that Mark is doing what he can do to keep me organized is to have a renewed focus on our existing sponsors and expand it to new sponsors. One of the challenges I think that I had anyways was developing a coherent message and story, and I'm thrilled to think that right now we're really positioned to be able to do that. Of course, if you're on the executive committee or on the advisory board, that doesn't preclude you from participating in the sponsorship opportunity financially, but that's entirely up to you. And if you're thinking about other people who might be human resources for our organization, by all means introduce them to Mark, because one thing he's been pretty good at and will continue to be is you know, having sidebar conversations. And I encourage him, and I think he will, is to reach out to each and every one of you to get to know you, know your voice and your personality and how you feel like you can contribute. So that's my 2 cents there. If anyone else has a question or a thought for the group, great. We're coming up upon noon time, and I like to start things and end them on time. So speak now or forever hold your peace.
Until next month.
Okay, anyone? All right. Well, Mark, why don't you close out the meeting?
Well, it's been great having everyone on here. A number of you have made some comments in chat, which I think are great. And I'll try and connect with everyone individually over the next week or so. And I'm thrilled to be part of this and really excited about 2021. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to get a lot of great stuff done.
Okay.
Welcome aboard, Mark. Let's change the world.
Absolutely.
Worcester, anyway.
Yeah.
Central Mass. We're going to make
Central
it happen.
Mass. Yeah.
There you go.
That's
We'll
right,
start
yeah.
there.
Venture Forum.
Then the
Gateway to
world.
Worcester. That's right.
And the world.
The world
So-
in 2022. That's the way I.
There
So
you
we'll
go.
leave it at this. I'd like to try to do another one of these in December anyways, guys and gals, if that's okay. And I right now I have a hard stop at noon, and that's what it is right now. So thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
and we'll
everyone.
be in touch.
Thank
Nice
you.
job.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Good
Bye-bye.
job,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye now.